house is built? Okay. So I would like to start my presentation with this Bible verse saying, by wisdom, a house is built, and through understanding, it is established. Through knowledge, its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasure. I really like this poster. It shows a simple house, but if you look at it, it might be too simple, but everything is there. It's peaceful, it's look a happy place, and when Jesus is there, everything make a difference. When we are building our house, I remember before you get married, we have the seminar, and the pastor, the person who do the seminar will teach us, would remind us that when we build a home, we don't only look at two people in love, but we have to know how to establish our home so that every need will be cared for, and everything will be in accordance to God's will. So if we build our house with God, and He will be the one to strengthen our home. And so that is the text that I want to give to you as we start this. Keep this text in mind, because it is going to help us to understand better, if we have the wisdom, that the house that we are building will be strong. Okay, so in this study, we're going to see how our finance will lead, how our financial capacity will lead us to good health and well-being. Here, another perspective from a biblical perspective: financial capacity and physical health are closely linked through principle of stewardship, contentment, and the mind-body impact of stress. Okay, the Bible teaches that God is the ultimate owner of all resources, and our body are the temple of the Holy Spirit. And physical well-being is deeply affected by how we manage anxiety, work, and material wealth. What is the Bible says in Proverbs 17, verse 22? It says, a merry heart does good like medicine, but a broken spirit drieth the bone. Now, how would you feel when you are broke? Can you have, if you don't have money, if your financial situation is very down, can you always say, oh, you have a merry heart? So we can start to see that how for some people, our financial capacity and our financial capability really affect our health. Now, let's listen to this statement, and let's see how we can react to this. A friend recently said this to me: if something happened to me, I don't have enough money or even cover the initial medical care. I hope none of us can relate to that, but I'm pretty sure a lot of us are relating to that statement. I know I should have money set aside for those unpleasant aspects of life, but I just been too busy and my finances are all over the place. Who can relate to this statement? I think that I personally sometimes feel like this also, because we all know that health costs a lot of money. When we look at it into the going to the doctor, go to the hospital, if we have like a major sickness, so it costs money. So we have to be able to change that sentence. And we will see later on what we can change that sentence into. Okay, so in this 2-day session, the objective of these sessions is at the end of the session, we will be able to define health and well-being. Also, we will be able to differentiate between financial capacity and financial capability. They are different, and it's very important for us to understand the difference between those two. We also need, because sometimes we might confuse those two, the two meanings. Also, number 3, it is important for us to understand how financial resources influence health outcome. Okay, how financial resources influence health outcome. And we also need to identify practical ways to improve our personal health through financial planning. Okay, it is not given to everyone, but it needs to be planned. And we're going to develop a simple personal wellness plan. Okay, that is very important at the end of this lesson. So we will have the opportunity to plan, to evaluate ourselves, and to see how can we improve what is our actual situation by doing a simple personal wellness plan. During this session also, we have like some participation, and you will also be able to have some case study and think how have some group activities to think how can we improve our health to our financial capacity. Okay, so why this topic matters? This topic matters because health is the most important things that we have. If we don't have health, we cannot have wealth. Okay, health is very important. So health is influenced by much more than physical medical care. Okay, our health is influenced by much more than medical care. As we look at it in a big Christian perspective, our health is have many different dimensions connected to our health. As we saw before, in the text before, a merry heart is very important to have a merry heart, to be happy. Happiness also bring health. Okay, so we're going to see also in this topic why it matters, because our daily choices about food, exercise, healthcare, stress management, and recreation are often connected to our financial situation. Okay, so how people will, the food that we will buy will depend on how much money do we have. Okay, and those people, for example, who can join the gym, for example, is because they have the means to do so. But what if you don't have money? Are you not going to be able to exercise or buy food? No. So we have to look at how all those things connect to each other, and what can we do if we have plenty of money, or if we don't have plenty of money, but can we still achieve good health? Okay, so having more money does not automatically lead to better health. We know that a lot of wealthy people are not healthy because of sometimes too much wealth make us unhealthy, because we don't sleep. We think too much about protecting our money, our health, our wealth, and we forget to take care of our health. So sad to say. And another thing is, good financial management and healthy lifestyle choices are equally important. So there is not one more important than the other. So this topic matters because we have to see all those 4 points that I have here, that everything is important when we talk about finance, our financial capacity, and our health and well-being. Okay, So let's start with this question. Okay. Do you believe that money can buy health? Can answer? Do you believe money can buy health?
Yeah, to some degree, but not everything.
Sorry again?
To some degree, it can help us be healthy and pay some bills and some things needed for our health, but not everything, because there are
Mm,
things that money cannot buy even for our health that we really need to do it even if we have money. But
yeah,
if we don't practice the health principles, it will be useless.
it can be useless, yes. Okay, so yeah, it is true. Money can buy health, money can buy medicine, but you can have medicine, but you buy the medicine, but you don't take the medicine, for example, it is going to be useless. So yes, money can do that, but there are other things that money cannot do. Now let's look at health, because money can can give us medicine, but money cannot buy health. Okay, money alone cannot guarantee good health. Our behavior and our planning matters more. Okay, let's look at the definition of health. Okay, because we are talking about health, we're talking about finance, but what is health? Okay, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. That is the definition from the WHO. Okay, what is health? Is a state of complete physical, mental, social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So sometimes when we look at health, we look at it only about, oh, I don't have pain, so I'm in good health, and I'm not, I don't have any disability, so I'm in good health. But these definitions bring it a little bit further. When we talk about health, we talk about holistically, being holistically healthy. Everything need to be considered. And the WHO definition being close to what our Bible says. uh, God says that He wants us to be well in every aspect of life. Huh? Every aspect of life. Now, what health include? As we see, physical health, mental health, emotional health, and social health. So health is a resource for everyday living, not simply the absence of illness. Okay, not only the absence of illness. So here, uh, when we have physical health, but we do not have mental health, our physical health will be impacted. When you are stressed, when you are depressed, your physical health will be impacted. Now, I remember my auntie, she used to work in one of the as a nurse in one of those very famous hospital in Paris. And she said the sickness of this generation was back pain. Everybody suffer from back pain. And they would come to her department, and which is one of the very famous hospital in Paris, and the people will come suffering, literally crying and suffering for back pain. But when the doctor will examine them physically, their back has nothing. So he told them, before I see any patient, we will accept the patient, we will manage the pain somehow. But before I see any patient, this patient need to see a psychologist or a psychiatrist, at least 2 or 3 sessions before I see that person, to determine if that person is really sick physically, if it's a physical illness or a mental or emotional or even social illness. Because what he has discovered that a lot of people who are coming to the department have hidden problem. Problem goes as far beyond like the understanding. Some about they cannot overcome the death of their children, or they cannot overcome the death of the spouse, or they are in a situation where they are in an abuse situation in the family. Not necessarily physical abuse, but also mental abuse. Or some of them are carrying burdens of things that has happened, dirty family secrets, and it comes to impact their physical health. So it's very important, and the statement of WHO is true, that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Okay. Now let's look at, on the other hand, what is well-being? Okay, well-being. What is well-being? So I have found this lifelong well uh, well-being foundation, and would describe uh, well-being. Okay, there are different foundations who are describing well-being as a holistic concept and encompassing multiple interconnected aspects of life. So here are 8 dimensions of well-being provide a framework of understanding how different areas contribute to a person's overall quality of life. So we have well-being is more than the feeling of being happy, okay? So it's more than the feeling of being happy. It has different aspects, so, okay? So there are 8 dimension. Okay, this one I will show you. You can find also 6 dimension, but this one I will show you an 8 dimension model of well-being. Okay, so those dimensions, they connect to each other. Okay, and so you will see in the other slide, I will show you in details, because these dimension, they also challenge each other. Okay, they are needed for a total well-being according to the researchers. Okay, so the first dimension is physical. Okay, the physical is it's about how we carry our body to health, to movement, balance, nutrition, sleep, and also preventive healthcare. So maintaining our physical health provides the energy and the resilience needed to perform well in daily life and support every other dimension of well-being. Okay, so the next one is emotional. Okay, when we talk about emotional, is how we can manage stress, positive coping with skills, and emotional resilience. So that is very important for when we talk about well-being. It involves also self-awareness, healthy coping strategy, and how we respond through the stress rather than how do we react. Okay, we tend to have impulsive reaction when we are under stress. Okay, so this is like emotional. Okay, our emotional. The next one is our social well-being, social. Okay, and in this social well-being is also about the quality of our relationship and our sense of belonging within our community. Okay, so it is built, it's a social well-being, it is built through supportive, authentic connection, healthy boundaries with other people, and meaningful interaction that strengthen resilience and reduce stress. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. And the last one, no, the last one, the number 4 is intellectual well-being. Okay. So it's very important. Like that's why we are here improving ourselves, our knowledge, because our intellectual well-being is our ability to think critically and to remain curious and pursue lifelong learning beyond academic achievement. Okay, now here we are learning for academic, but our intellectual is beyond, okay, our academic achievement. It encourages creativity, openness to the new perspective, and continuous personal growth through exploring and reflections, okay? So I say intellectual is a lifelong learning. Um, we are learning in different ways. It doesn't mean that we can learn only on in intellectual academic, right? Because from a baby, they start to develop their intellectual well-being by learning, by listening, observing their parents. So by starting to be creative, our children, they are growing, even though they don't necessarily go to school, but they are learning something. Okay. So it's the intellectual is developed and is very important. Next one. Okay, what happened here? I missed something. Okay. Never mind. The next dimension is the spiritual. So maybe we could have started with that spiritual, right? From other perspective, they don't necessarily see the spiritual one as the first. For Christian, you might say, oh, our spiritual should be the first. But when we look at well-being, we look at our primary source of needs first, right? So the spiritual well-being is finding meaning and purpose. We have good health, we have intellectual, we have all this, but we need to find meaning and purpose and alignment with our personal values, whether it's connected to a religious belief or not. Okay, so it's provide direct and inner stability by helping us to reflect on what matter the most and make choices consistent with our values. Okay, the spiritual aspect of well-being. So it's personal, it brings purpose in life, and it also gives inner peace. So as you can see, the next one, okay, is environmental, okay? The next one is environmental well-being. Okay, so what is environmental well-being? It's the environmental well-being reflect on how your personal surrounding, influence your health, your focus, your safety, and the overall quality of your health. Where do you live? Where is your neighborhood, the country that you are in? So all these are part of your environmental well-being, the school you are going to. And this environmental well-being will create a supportive space and maintaining a positive connection with the nature also, and can improve your well-being while encountering different environmental responsibility. So it really apply like, are you living in a safe place, in a safe condition, in a healthy surrounding? How you manage your house, your environment, uh, etc. So the next one is occupational. Okay, occupational well-being. Do you have a job? Okay, so how can you have well-being if you don't have a job? So your occupation uh, also is a way for you to find purpose in life, satisfaction, and help you to grow in what you are doing, in your work, your study, and bring meaningful uh, meaning for you, because it keep you engaged and give you responsibility, and also um, show about your strength. Okay, it involves your alignment with your strength. I am good in doing this, so I will work in this area, and I will earn money for what I can contribute. Okay, and it will also help you to develop yourself in life, like not only just work, but progress with your work, and also um, show how you can grow, you see, grow also in different aspects. And occupational well-being also look at job satisfaction. Are you happy in the job that you are doing? And can you have a work-life balance? Those are the dimensions very important. And the last one is financial well-being. Okay, financial well-being is very important for us to be able to have financial well-being, because um, financial well-being bring financial security. Okay, so our ability to manage money confidently, to meet current needs while building long-term financial stability, developing healthy financial habits, reduce stress, support information decision making, and enable greater focus on overall health and well-being. Okay, so it's very interesting how they put the finance last. Okay, the finance last, and the spiritual is in the middle. Okay, so these are the 8 dimensions of well-being. Now I took a little bit time to expose those 8 dimensions, because I think it is very important that when we try to achieve health and well-being, we need to understand what health is and what well-being is. Okay, how people can define well-being. Okay, and so it is important for us to know that when we talk about well-being, we have different dimensions. We have how many dimensions? 8 dimensions. Okay, so the first dimension is physical. Okay, we need to have good health. And the second dimension is emotional, social, intellectual, and we also have spiritual, environmental, occupational, and financial. So these are the 8 dimensions of well-being. Now, it's a time that I will like to ask you to have some group reflection. Okay. Since I introduced to you what is well-being and the different dimension of well-being and what is health, I would like to ask you which dimension you think most affect your daily life, and how does one dimension affect another? Okay, So we can take few minutes to discuss about which dimension do you think most affect your daily life. Now you have an example here. Financial stress leads to emotional stress, leads to poor sleep, and leads to poor physical health. But that is how the dimension affect one another. But for everybody, it doesn't mean that we have the same problem, the same dimension. So this is our time for a group reflection. Okay, so as I can see that you have talked and you have come to being able to share about your different ideas and share how you are impacted in the different group. Okay, so if we had more time, I will ask one of you a representative to share what you have discussed in your different group. Okay. All right. So now let's continue and look at, excuse me. We're going to, we'll look at first about health and well-being. Now we're going to switch and look at the financial aspect because our topic is about financial capacity and financial and achieving health and well-being, okay? So now we're able to define about health and well-being. Now we're going to look at the financial aspect. Okay. So who can tell me about how, you see, the financial aspect was the last one in the 8th dimension. And it says like, with this financial aspect can help with all the other aspect, the other dimension. But we have to understand that there is a difference that we often mix the ideas between financial capacity and financial capability. And I will show you now what is the difference, financial capacity versus financial capability, and what kind of question does it answer? Okay, so financial capacity answered that question. Do I have the financial resources? Okay, it's really important because you can see that some people have financial capacity and some people also have financial capability. Okay, the financial capacity answer to that question, do I have the financial resources? This is financial capacity. The financial resources and economics means a person has available to meet their current and future needs. Okay, so this mean the people have what is needed to meet their current and future needs. For example, income, savings, investment, asset, insurance, and emergency funds. So these are your financial capacity. Now, on the other hand, financial capability is, can I use my resources wisely? That's the question that is answered. Can I use my resources wisely? Okay, it says here, the ability to make informed financial decisions and effectively manage available financial resources, the knowledge, skills, and confidence, attitude, and behavior involved. For example, budgeting, saving regularly, paying bills on time, planning ahead, and avoiding unnecessary debt. Now, why do I show this distinct clarification between financial capacity and financial capability. Our topic today is about financial capacity and health and well-being. But I believe that you cannot depend only about your financial capacity to achieve health and well-being. You also need to include that dimension, it is financial capability. And the difference is this financial capability is very important. Also, you have the money, but can you manage it properly? You have money, but can this money help you to achieve what you have, allow you to achieve health? Okay, so this is a fundamental distinction for the session. It's very fundamental, important, critical for us to understand that. Because financial capacity, I will say again, is what is about how well. If I ask you, someone have, can someone you can want to say something?
This is very clear.
Hello?
This is already very clear. We may have the big income and financial resources and everything we have gifted by God, but if we don't have the proper stewardship to use them, that is financial capability, the capacity will be useless also.
Mm. Okay, thank you so much. Yes, so I can see that you grasp very well what I mean and what I want to share. Okay, good. So next we will see the next slide. Okay. Okay. So here again, we will see at a glance what it says here. Financial capacity is the amount of financial resources. It focuses on wealth and income. It can change due to employment or life events. Having money alone does not ensure good financial health. Okay, so that is another financial capability is the ability to manage money. Focuses on knowledge and behavior, can improve through education and practice, and good financial skills improve long-term well-being. So here, what is the message here? We know that income and money management are two different skills. Okay, they are two different things, and both matters for financial and physical health. Someone can have high income but poor financial capability, and someone with modest income but excellent financial capability may experience greater financial stability. Okay, again, someone can have high income but poor financial capability, and someone with a modest income but excellent capability. So how can they achieve that? Huh? How can they achieve that? Now, I will give you an example, okay? Two person. Okay, 2%, one has high income, but no savings, large debts, no insurance, and frequently overspend. Okay? The other one has high financial capacity, but poor financial capability. Now, we have case number 2. Person B, moderate income, budget monthly, emergency savings, health insurance, minimal debts, moderate financial capacity, but excellent financial capability. So in these 2 people, Doc Maxion, which one has is more financial secure? Which one has more financial security?
Person B, Doc.
Person B, why?
Because although he has a moderate financial capacity, he's got excellent financial capability. So that would mean a better financial setup for him.
Okay, very good. So that shows us really that those 2 examples show us that your financial capacity doesn't mean that you have excellent financial capability. And remember, I said at the beginning that both of them are very important in order for us to achieve health and well-being. So person A, very high income, but does not spend wisely his money and maybe live from one paycheck to another paycheck. Huh? But person B maybe use the wisdom God has given him or her and manage properly this income. Okay? So 2 profile, 2 different person, but 2 different income, but also different behavior and how to manage the money. Okay. So now let's look at financial capability and health. Okay. So a research from the University of Bristol Personal Finance Research Center emphasized that financial capability involves behaviors such as planning ahead. Okay. So you can, when we talk about financial capability, we also talk about planning ahead. Okay. We talk about keeping tracks of finances. We also talk about choosing appropriate financial products. Okay. And we also talk about staying informed about financial matters. These positive financial behavior are associated with reduced financial stress, greater resilience, and better health and well-being. Because it is very true that when you have financial problem, you have sleeping problem. And then you have sleeping problem, you are stressed, your well-being and your health is at stake. Okay? So instead of focusing on our financial capacity, we see that what is matter the most is no matter how much we have, but our capability to manage it well. Okay? Here, let's look at this. Look at the way of the arrow. When you have good health, you have good wealth. Okay. Do you agree? When you have good health, you have good wealth. When you have good health, you are happier and you are healthy or healthier. When you have good health, you are productive, you have strength, you can go and work, right? So when you have good health, you can make solid and clear decision about your life, your finance. You are not in the hospital, you are not suffering, you're mentally, you have mental clarity, you can make decision about your finance. Because remember, we say good health is a combination of many things. Health is not only physical, but mental, emotional, and also social. So when you have all this, you can you can be grateful for, because you are healthy. We are thanking God every day. We wake up and thank God and pray, God, thank you because I am in good health today. I don't have pain. I can see, I can talk, I can move. And therefore, if your absence of sickness, it gives you the strength, the courage, that you can do some things today to earn some money, okay? To earn something. And that's why we appreciate God's blessing. Every day when we wake up, we should be thankful because God is giving us our health every day. But on the other hand, when you have, also we can say, when you have wealth, you have good health. It's also a statement that is true. When you have wealth, you have good health. So here it says, the person who made that statement says, you may be asking, what does money have to do with good health? But look at this way. When you have wealth, or more than enough for basic, you have the ability to maintain a good, healthy life. You can eat right kind of food that promote good health. You can invest in being active and getting support to stay physically fit. For example, you can join the gym. You can get the most appropriate, needed, or proactive medical care. You can go to a private hospital, and you stress less about your finance and feel more at ease, which means you are less likely to have stress-related illness. So in short, what those two statements are saying, that when you have health, good health, you have health. So if you have health, you can find a way, a means to generate wealth. But when you have wealth, you also can have good health, because wealth can remove from you the stress of the stress of lacking of finance, in order for you to provide what is best for you and generate good health. Now, we look also at this, and another way we're going to emphasize again. Does financial capacity affect health? Now, earlier we look at financial capability, how it affects health. Now, let's look at financial capacity. Does financial capacity affect health? The answer is yes, but it is not the only factor, okay? Maybe I could have started by showing about financial capacity first, because now that you know that you also need financial capability, yeah? So it's easier for you to understand that financial capacity alone cannot provide good health, okay? So I make it easy for you. I put capability first. So now you know that yes, capacity affects health, but it is not the only factor. Okay, so financial capacity influence, we said, access to nutritious food. Financial capacity give access to healthcare, to safe housing, for transportation, opportunity for physical activity, and reduce stress level. But however, these also play significant role. Okay, what is our health habit? Because I have money, I can buy any food. I can go to Jollibee. I can buy pizza. I can go to McDonald's because a menu in McDonald's, how much? 200 pesos? Oh, I have money. I can go. I can afford that. I can afford to go to Jollibee. I can afford to go to all those places. I can afford to eat in a fancy restaurant. But are these good health habits? Okay? Are they good health habits? Do we have a knowledge of what we are doing, what we are eating, what is inside? Okay? And how this also affect the way we support our community and our financial capability. So yes, we have the capacity, so we will eat and have dinner out every night. But as the result, how did we manage our financial capability? Is there a balance between financial capacity and financial capability? Okay. Someone with fewer resources but a strong knowledge, good habits, and a community support still can achieve good health outcome. Okay, so even though you don't have the financial capacity of someone else, of your neighbor, okay, because the matter of financial capacity and financial capability is often because we compare ourselves with others. How do you know that you are more capable? You have this financial capability. It's because you're comparing yourself with this and that person. But something we have to know that how do we manage our healthy habits with the knowledge that we have to lead us with a balanced financial capacity and financial capability. Okay. Now, let's look at different type of person. Okay. We will look at the different aspect of health. Okay. We will look at different aspect of health and how we can manage health based on our financial capacity. Okay. The first one we're going to look at is nutrition. Nutrition and financial planning. Now, remember at the beginning, I mentioned that we need to have wisdom in everything that we do. And even in achieving health, we need to have wisdom. We already established the fact that what is health. We already established what is well-being, and we already established what is financial capacity and financial capability. Now that we know we have a good knowledge of those things, let's look at how to be healthy, okay? When we talk about health, the first things come to our mind is nutrition, okay? Because when you are healthy, you have money, you buy good food. However, we are still encouraged to have a financial planning, okay, even with nutrition. So the first point here is healthy eating is one of the best investment in long-term health. Okay, healthy living is the best investment in long-term health. Okay, healthy eating does not always require expensive food. Okay, our malunggay tree here is very stable, important. So if you don't have food, but you have malunggay, you can put malunggay in your things, you will achieve health because it's a miracle. It's a miracle tree. You don't have a lot of money to go to fancy restaurant, but you have kamote top. You have it's a very stable food that is very important and help us to be healthy because of all the nutrients that are in those plants. And sometimes we look at those food like, oh, this is the food of the poor, right? We tend to, when we are people with high financial capacity, tend to look down on some food and think that, oh, these are food for the poor people. Me, I have a high financial capacity. I can afford, okay? I can afford to buy apples, fruit in top market. But what they don't know that those food are full of pesticide. Huh? I can afford to buy strawberry even out of season. But in order for you to buy strawberry out of season, something happened because it's not the season. Because the Bible reminds us that we need to eat fruit in season. Okay, there is a reason that we are supposed to eat fruit in season. Okay, not because our money allow us to buy anytime we want. Okay, but it does not necessarily provide good health. So good financial planning helps individuals. We must have good financial planning in budgeting our meals. Okay, so we have to plan grocery budget, reduce food waste, buy nutritious food, prepare meals at home, and limit impulse purchase. So the sentence here is a healthy nutrition is both a health decision and a financial decision. Have you ever thought about this before? Even for me, I really never thought about this before, that healthy nutrition is both a health decision and a financial decision. But it's true. What I always told before my husband, we will not compromise on food. We can compromise our budget in everything, clothing or extra things, but we cannot compromise on food. And some people will say, oh, it's so expensive to become a vegetarian, or it's so expensive to buy nuts or healthy because it's expensive. Or say it's expensive at first, but in long term, you have giving you more because I'm not promoting vegetarianism here, but for example, if let's say I will buy, some people say, no, I will buy this oil because coconut oil is so expensive. I will buy soy oil, soybean, but this is known to be one of the first source of cancer, right? All those vegetable oils, their market has healthy because they say vegetables, but we know and it's proven that those oils that we are buying, something like that to cook, are very unhealthy because they go through a very long process and they are mixed with everything. And so it doesn't bring us health. So you should better buy your coconut oil or your olive oil. But some people say, oh, the liter of coconut oil is so expensive. Yes, it's more expensive, but you don't use a lot. And because it's expensive, you will avoid frying. You will avoid deep fries. So you will eat something that is healthier. Olive oil you cannot use for frying. We know that fried food is not healthy for us. So if you buy olive oil, yes, it's more expensive, but you will change your cooking habits, and that will also bring nutrition. And one bottle of olive oil can last for 1 month, 2 months, while your cheap oil, because you buy it cheap, you will fry, you will do a lot of things, and that will not bring health to your body. So yes, it will cost you a little bit more when you buy it, but it will, in the long term, it will help you to change your lifestyle, your diet, and bring health to yourself. Okay? So we have to put everything into the balance. Okay. And make wise uh, decision when we go buy our food. Now, I have a case study here. Uh, Here is a case study. And I want you to discuss about this case study. Now we have two families, and each family has a budget, a grocery budget, the same grocery budget. Here I put euro. Okay, so 100 euro is a lot, nah? So we have 100 euro budget, let's say for a generous family for a week. Okay, so this is about euro is about 3,000, let's say 3,700 baht. Okay, for 1 week is very generous. Okay, so let's say two family and 100 euro budget for 1 week. So now I want you to discuss and see which family is likelier to have a healthier outcome. Family one has planned meal. They have planned meals. They go, they make grocery, they plan the meals for the week. And family B buys convenient food. Okay, so now I give you 10 minutes to discuss which family is likelier to have a healthier outcome. So at the end of this discussion, I will ask two people to share either for family A or family B. Okay, which family is likelier to have a healthier outcome? So here I will ask your opinion to Doc Rowley.
Discuss on family A, which is more likely to have outcomes.
Healthier.
Basically, the family A uses natural plant-based diet. Uh, it's complete with not just fiber, fruits and vegetables, and it also has some proteins. And yeah, because it's varied, it has also have some. The food groups are here represented. The protein in the forms of plant-based. The second is processed food. There's more on starchy. Based on our recent study on health, the plant A is the one giving us more likely healthier outcome. It is scientifically proven already. Although it has it has to be practiced in like time restricted eating, because just for specific information, maybe some of us don't know that either if you can be a plant-based eater or animal-based eater, if we don't know the principles and even principles of eating, like time restricted eating, either can produce diabetic and some problems, the diabetes and some problems. For example, you can be a vegetarian, but you eat the whole day, that can become diabetic also. Uh, Even worse than the like processed food or the other one, which is detrimental. But if the one eating family B diet, but they practice, for example, 2 meals a day and about 16 to 14 to 16 hours or even 18 hours of intermittent fasting during nighttime. Like the last meal will be about at 2 p.m. or about 4 p.m. That one will have even longer, although it will give some health problems. It will have longer, I should say. Uh, that is based on study. Even if it is, I should say, not purely animal based, but because of the effect of the autophagy. So if both are to be taken at the same level of time restricted eating and in amount, and for example, family A, plant based is more likely to have healthier outcomes.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, Sydney, not to, of course, I was attracted to that picture, but it could have been a picture with some meat or chicken or whatsoever, you know. But it is true. The idea here, no matter if you eat meat or not, but the person with a meal, like a planned meal, okay, you will go and you will plan your meal for the week. uh, you will have still a better and healthier outcome. Why? Because the person at home, you can cook, you can plan, you can measure your salt, you know what you put in your food, and you don't put some food additives, and you don't put some unhealthy things that unfortunately they put in the food, right? In order for them to sustain the shelf's life. Okay, so you plan your meal, you cook at home, and you you can save, even though you have a budget of 100, but doesn't mean that you can use all, right? That is when you plan your meal. But sometimes when you go buy at the convenience store, you you tend to buy a little bit more, okay? So you will not buy only the meal, but then you will see, oh, there is a croissant, there is a coffee, there is a drink. So you will be tempted to take something additional chips from those convenience stores, and you might also, one, eat unhealthy food, and two, go beyond your budget. Yeah. So if you go to market, you buy your food, and you eat, what you cook, you measure your oil, you measure your salt, you measure everything you put, and you can have a better satisfaction to eat what you prepared. Now, not everyone can cook. Not everyone can prepare healthy meals. So that's why I guess they will go and buy at the convenience stores. But even though we can buy our food outside, but it will be wise to know what shop we go. Maybe we can order, and we can have a specific place where we know that the food is healthier, rather than just always go to the convenience stores. Um, if we cannot cook, yes, can be. But like for example, for my family, uh, now it is difficult sometimes early in the morning to prepare and everything. So I will buy food. I will buy food, but I have one shop that I will go to buy. Even though it takes me a little bit detour from my workplace, but I will go there because I know the meals they are serving. And then I will buy food. I know that I will have my packed food. I can choose. This is my rice. This is my vegetables and things. And the and the price also is convenient because it's a vegetarian place. So the price is good and the food is healthy. And so I can, out of all the shops, I will drive a little bit, 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, but I know that at least I will, where I buy my food is it's not in the convenience stores that I will be tempted to buy something else. Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Doc Rowley, also for sharing your ideas. So yes, a planned meal is better than going to the convenience stores. Okay, now let's look at something else. In terms of health, we also need to have healthcare access. Okay, so the first one, when we talk about health, we talk about nutrition. The second one, we will talk about healthcare access. Okay. So when we have money, we have access to healthcare. So our financial capacity influence our healthcare access through preventive screening, medical consultation, prescription medication, dental care, vision care, and health insurance. But it's also important to have a financial planning because it can help if even we have the financial capacity, but with a financial planning, we can budget for routine healthcare, maintain insurance coverage, and save for future medical needs. And here, we need to remember that preventive care often costs less than treating advanced illness, okay? Preventive care often costs less than treating advanced illness. So if we often hear people say, regularly go for your checkup, regularly go to see your dentist, because if you regularly go see the dentist, it will cost less than having dental, like invasion operation or cavity removed and all those things. So also have a healthcare insurance, because yes, it's painful to have to pay the yearly insurance. And you say, like, oh, I paid already for 12, 10 years, 20 years, nothing happened to me, and I wasted that money. But the day where we are becoming sick, we have an accident or something like that, because we cannot prevent, then it becomes useful. All those years that we paid are used in one medical service. So, but I know a lot think that when this will happen, God will provide. And the tendency is that when we are in a critical situation where we will go and knock at the door of everyone, please help my family, help my mother, help me pay the bills of the hospital. And I think that, yes, we can use the generosity of people around us, but sometimes it can put us in higher our stress level. And it's instead of helping us to recover faster to our illness, it can add more stress and more health distress. We can be more in trouble. So prevention is better than cure. Okay, prevention is better than cure. But is everyone calling and decision? But this one also is a very important one. Okay, so next is, when we want to achieve good health, we also need to have a healthy lifestyle management. Okay, healthy lifestyle management. What does it mean? Okay, healthy lifestyle, we need to make healthy lifestyle choices. Now you see there are 2 columns here. And So one shows that what are the healthy lifestyle that we need, and the other one shows how to achieve this. Okay, so one shows that yes, we need to achieve regular activities. Okay, healthy lifestyle activities. We need to have adequate sleep. We need to have stress management. If we are smoking, we need to stop smoking. And if we are drinking, we need to stop drinking. Here it says moderate alcohol consumption, but because this resource is from a health perspective, but from our Christian perspective, we know that we do not talk about moderate alcohol consumption. We talk about no alcohol consumption. And we need to have routine health check. So, but a lot of those healthy lifestyle management doesn't have to cost any money, okay? When we talk about regular physical activity, we can just go out and walk, gardening, okay? We do not need to register to the gym, okay? We can exercise at home. And also what we can do, we have to remember to drink a lot of water. Oh, I'm struggling with that one, I have to confess. And lack of drinking enough water is one cause of a lot of illness, okay? And the second one is sleep, adequate sleep. But we need to have more sleep. And we have abused our body in lacking of sleep. Huh? And also, we talk about stress management, well-being. We need to have a spiritual aspect. We need to spend more time in meditation, in reading the Word of God. Okay? So those things cost nothing. And we can go around in our community and use the community sports centers. If we, we can go and play basketball with people in our village, go walk and connect, have a social activities, like connect with other people in our community. That's also create a healthy lifestyle. I can see around every night, around in my house, the people are walking around and making friends, and just this become their lifestyle. Okay, after coming to work, change my clothes, put my jogging, my runners, and go walk around, meet people, and start to talk, be sociable, like have some social activities, and it's help also. So healthy living depend on both financial resources and personal choices. You have the choice to go and do those things or sit down in the house, use your phone all day in the evening and eat and don't do any of these activities. But we cannot complain because we have to manage our lifestyle. Okay. So next one, we also need to prepare medical emergency funds, okay? Medical emergency preparedness. Unexpected medical expenses can place family under financial pressure. Financial preparedness include emergency saving, health insurance, knowing available community health resources, maintaining medical record, emergency contact information. Now, you see, I know some people around me, they believe that if you need to go to the doctor, you need, of course, to go to the best doctor. And some people, no matter what, they are sick, they will take, like for example here, they will take the member of the family to, let's say, Bangkok Hospital in the case of Thailand. We place name in Bangkok Hospital, but you don't have the means to go to pay the bill in Bangkok Hospital, because Bangkok Hospital is, soon as you enter, they will ask you a minimum of 1,500 baht. I have the experience for my son. He had an accident, and of course, he has a insurance, but school insurance. And when he had an accident, say, oh, even is outside of school, but you can use. It is good to use, and because it was an accident. I went to the hospital, private hospital. When they check him, because he had the chin was cut. He has an opening in the chin. And the hospital asked me 10,000 baht. 10,000 baht for 5 stitches. Okay? Because I took him to private hospital, because I was with people say, no, we have to take him to the hospital. So the ambulance take him to the hospital. 10,000 baht for 5 stitches. So what would I say? Okay, just because he has insurance, we will use the insurance and pay 10,000 baht. No. I asked the doctor, is there any other problem? Because he arrived with the ambulance, right? Because he has an accident. So is there any other problem with my son? No, he is okay. No other fractures, no anything. He is okay. Only this one, and you need 5 stitches. Say, okay, thank you, doctor. Can you please close the wound? And I took him to the public hospital, right? And in the public hospital, I pay how much? For everything, the care, everything, I pay only 800 baht. So when we have, that's why it's important to know the resources that we have around us. Why pay 10,000 baht? Tax my insurance, 10,000 baht for this, when you can pay in the public hospital, same service, better great service also. The only problem is you have to wait a little bit, but you pay 800 baht. What is the difference? It's massive, right? So when we talk about health, we need to know what are the things available around us, okay? Often our community healthcare can be very useful. Not only think about the fancy hospital because we will spend less time, or maybe we want to show that we have financial capacity, okay? But we need to be wise in how we manage our money, and many in care, okay? So here in my case, financial capacity I have, but I need to exercise also financial capability, and also be wise in managing the whatever resources that the Lord has given us, okay? So it's important. So a recommended goal is to gradually build an emergency fund to help manage unexpected expenses. The appropriate amount varies by individual circumstances. Planning ahead reduces stress during emergency, okay? Planning ahead reduce stress during emergency. So I know this one is not easy to achieve, because every day we have emergency. We don't necessarily have medical emergency, but we have emergency. We need to fix the car. We need to pay for the kids. We need to pay for if you have kids who go to school, you need to pay for this. Or the child will come and say, Mama, the school say we go somewhere, we need money, we have this and that. But all those things, we need to budget them. Not only the medical emergency. We talk about medical emergency because when an medical emergency comes, it costs a lot of money. But it is not only about medical, it's about everything. Okay, we need to save for emergency. When I say emergency, it doesn't mean only physical or medical emergency, but all kind of emergency. And this one is not easy to achieve. Agree? I know all of us will agree with that. Huh? Even though we have the capacity, but we need to be able to do this preparation. Preparedness is more important. Okay? The next one, when we talk about healthness, health, we also need to plan for recreation and wellness. Recreation support both physical and mental well-being. Many recreational activities are inexpensive or free, okay? So, but very important. So what are the benefits of recreation and wellness? Reduce stress, improve the mood, better cardiovascular health, social connection, and improve mental health. Like I said earlier, like I see people around, and sometimes I feel I want to join them, but go around in the park, walk around, talk, meet people, and this is very good for our health. Okay, so recreation. So the example, walking in the park, reading, community event, and go play music. Okay, music is also part of recreation and wellness. Okay, also family activity, gardening, sports, and even volunteering. So we thank God that we have our church also, who also help in providing all those community events, music, volunteering, and we thank God for the Sabbath that we have, because Sabbath is also not necessarily a day for like recreation, but yeah, actually it is, because we there are some things that we refrain to do on Sabbath, but like, for example, sports. But it will also affect us and help us to reduce the stress, meet with our brethren, fellowshipping together, and reading the Bible. That's also, and having some family times is very nice. And it is really a gift given by God to for our health. Okay, so here it says down, wellness is not determined by spending money. It is supported by meaningful, healthy activities. Okay, so we don't have an excuse. We cannot have recreation because we don't have money. Okay, not everyone can go on travel. Not everyone can go on a trip, okay? But these are not the only one way that we can have recreation. Okay? We can enjoy the nature. That is the most important, and then we can have something that we enjoy doing, okay? Something that will involve all the different dimension of well-being, physical, emotional, social, and then spiritual. Okay, but it doesn't need to cost money as long as it brings us joy and happiness. Okay, so I'm coming to the end of my presentation. Now let's look at some key takeaways from this presentation. So number one, we need to remember financial capacity provides opportunities, okay? Financial capacity provides opportunity because it giving us, we have the finance, we have the money, because we learned that financial capacity is mean, do you have the means? Okay, the means. Do we have the money? Okay, so it's good financial capacity. If we have it, we have opportunities. Next, financial capability help people to use those opportunities wisely. Okay, so now that we have the money, but how we manage it, it will be very important. And that's what we are called, to use wisely what you have. Health is influenced by physical, emotional, social, environmental, and financial factors. Okay, so in having good health, it is not only by finance, what we have money, we can have health. No, because we learned that money cannot buy health. But there are other factors like our physical activities, our emotional, our social, and our environment also that influence our health. Okay. We also learn that small financial decision can improve long-term health. It is not about big decision, but small and small financial. Okay. And the last one, wellness is achievable at the different income level through informed choices and planning. Okay, so in short, we can still achieve health even if our financial capability is not so big. Okay, our financial capability is not so big, but if we know how to use the small amount that we have received, we can ask God wisdom. Okay, because remember, the home built on the wisdom of God will sustain. If our money is not a lot, but we pray and we say, God, this is my money. I manage it. I am a steward of what you have given me. You faithfully return your tithe. You give your offerings. And Lord, this is what I have left. It is little. It is not a lot. But if I place it into your hands, you will help me not to be sick. You will help me to choose wisely about my food, my clothing, everything, so that in everything that I do, I will be able to represent you and represent the one who give me everything. Because remember, everything belongs to God. He gave us so that we can use them wisely. Okay, so this is one very important things that I wanted to share. Once again, our health does not only depend on our financial capability, but if we have financial capability, we need capacity, sorry. If we have financial capacity, we need to exercise financial capability. We need to look at our financial capability. We need to be wise, okay, in managing, because without a good management of our money, our financial capacity will be like nothing. Okay, so this is what I wanted to share with you about this session. Okay, so I hope that you have learned a lot with this presentation today. So before we finish, I would like to give you a health capacity assessment. So now you have heard about all the points that I wanted to make about this presentation. It's time for us to have a health capacity assessment. where do we stand? Do you know where do you stand about your health capacity assessment? Okay, so here you have a sheet where you will rate from 1 to 5, okay? Rate from 1 to 5. 1 is a need improvement and 5 is excellent. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, so I believe everyone has a sheet, or you can see it in the screen, so you can use your a piece of paper and write your ratings. Okay, go. Eat balanced meal most day. So what is your rating? Okay, so next one is exercise regularly. How often do you exercise? Just rate from 1 to 5. 1 is need improvement and 5 is excellent. Okay, next one. I sleep 7 to 8 hours most nights. If you sleep average 5 or 6 hours, 5 hours, then you can put maybe 3, something like that. Okay, next one. I manage stress effectively. That's a hard one. But some of you might manage it well, some of you not that well, so you can decide between 1 and 5. Okay, next one. I have regular medical checkups. Okay. Some of us have a free medical checkup at work, but if you don't have free medical checkup at work, how do you assess your health, your medical condition? Are you aware of the signals that your body is giving to you? And what do you do? Okay, the next one. I have health insurance or healthcare plan. Ay, ay, ay. Or do we live on God will provide? Okay, so I keep a monthly budget. I keep a monthly budget. I save regularly. I save regularly. I have money set aside for emergency. Do we have money set aside for emergency? And how much is going to emergency? We don't know, but do we have something at least? And the last one, I participate in recreational activities. Okay, so now that you have your scores, you can see which areas score the highest and which areas need improvement. And you can see also which improvement require financial planning and which improvement requires behavioral change, because not all those require finance, but it just require our attitude, our changing our behavior, the way of we see things and we see life. Okay, so this is one of health capacity. So it's very important now to know where do we stand. Okay, I hope that all of you I put an honest answer to this, because this health capacity assessment is for yourself to evaluate yourself and see where you need to have room for improvement. Okay. Okay, so our second activity is I will give you time, okay, 15 to 20 minutes, so that you can have time. This is a personal activity. Then it's not a group activity because everyone don't have the same personal wellness plan. Okay, you don't have the same needs. So take your time to, it's not about look at what my friend put or something like that. It's what you need. what I need to plan for my personal wellness plan. Okay, so here you will have to write, there are two sections. One is about health and one is about financial. Okay, first we will start with health. Write three health goals. What are your three health goals? And next, what you think are the action steps that you need to make, the resources that you need, and the time frame that you give to yourself. Okay, time. And on the other hand, on the other side, you will put three financial goals for supporting health. Okay, what are your financial goals to support your health? When we talk about health, let's include here not only physical health, but we can see mental health, emotional health, and financial health. So, yeah. So, what are your financial goals? So, you say you put your action steps, the resources you think that you need, and the time frame that you give to yourself. So now that you have completed those activities, those two activities, um, you can have someone to share. Uh, so let's start. Let me ask you something. Name, who want to name one healthy habit you will begin this week? Doc Martian, what healthy habits you think that you can start doing?
This is very good, Dr. Alden.
Yes?
Since I have already my routine for the healthy habit starting 4:30 in the morning until evening, although I'm still improving. I have gained weight here. Since I came to Chonburi in 2024, I was, I believe, so healthy and at my ideal weight in 2024 in Angtong. Now I'll move on to the second or third habit, financial habit that I'm in a challenge really right now. Hence, I wrote a dissertation on financial literacy, a biblical framework. One financial habit that I need to improve is I need to improve my financial capability, despite
Mm,
that my financial capacity is not really that, I should say, that high this time. But I believe with proper stewardship, my and the intentional practice of or developing this financial habit daily, I
mm,
believe that financial capacity will be improved. Besides, I start with a monthly budget of in my dissertation like 10, 20, 70. Actually, it's more than 10%, like 10% for tithes. It's giving and more on offerings. We increase it depending on our commitment with God with the promise offerings, like maybe
mm,
one, two, three, four, even more. And less than 20% is the one used for savings, for investment, for healthcare, for all the things you mentioned about emergency, those things. These are really important. Like the first one is paying God, something like returning to God. The second, the 20, less than 20% is like paying yourself, a kind of like that kind of thing.
mm,
And rest of it, like less than 70% for our expenses. That can be also uh budgeted in a way that a part of it, or maybe most, if it's possible, to return as an asset, meaning money coming back to our pocket. The more we spend, the more money should come back, just like that. Because after all, God owns everything, and Haggai 2:8, and so it should return. So God wants us to invest all His resources, including financial resources. So with that in mind, it the daily habit is the one which is challenging to improve in the daily choices of buying small things and not buying which are not listed as part of being contributory according to the bigger budget of the whole month. So it's a daily practice really to deprive ourselves of the wants and stick to the basic needs that we are needed to do God's work in our daily life. So that's the one. One financial habit is really keeping track of what goes out and what comes in every day. So we will stick to the monthly budget and the stewardship principles.
Amen. Yeah, that is very important. Um, because in this life is offers a lot of uh things. Like I tell my kids, all those things that you want are all bling bling. They will just they say, Mommy, what is bling bling? And say all those shiny things that attract the eyes, but they are not actually needed. And we have to think about not only look at our financial capacity. Oh yeah, we can. I say yes, Mama can buy for you, can buy, but is it needed? Do we need this? Because the house is full of toys already, is full of those things. Those things are attracting the eyes, but they are not necessity. So they are not part of our budget. So we have to think that it's not because we have money that we need to spend all. Like sometimes we do not grow. We grow in many aspects of life, but in terms of finance, a lot of us are like children. Oh, I want this. I want. Can I have? Okay, I want it. Then I want it now. Okay, I should have it. Okay, so it's true that a lot of us need to more financials. Okay, thank you so much. Connection is stable. Thank you so much. Let me ask someone else. I saw here, Doc Willie Joy. Yes, you are acknowledged.
Good morning to everyone. I just want to impart something like there is a saying, uh, suffer now, enjoy later. Enjoy now, suffer later. Sometimes we fall on that options that we need to decide. Like, for example, like sometimes we are also like children. We want, even it's not necessary. That's why we have to evaluate what are our wants and our needs, because sometimes it lead us to stressful future that adds, if we have already some stressful life nowadays, it will add more in the near future. That's why again those points is very important that we need to at least be mindful of, or else we will be really be in trouble. I think the point why we need to have these informations, although we know them already, but we need to be reminded, because we should at least limit the the stressful life, because we are already in the stressful life. Pressures here and there, it's already, shall we say, given. But at least even through our finances, we can limit emotional or health or mental problem, because whether we like it or not, we are already bombarded with a lot of problems. So at least we can minimize, and above all, I think the point that I want to drive here is, if we have all those kind of planning, life will be well planned. We can enjoy peaceful life, even we are in the chaotic world, but at least we can like enjoy. As the song says, little heaven here on earth. Thank you very much. I think that's what I want to impart this morning.
Thank you so much. Um, Doc Joven, anyone that you will choose, which area that you will want to improve?
Okay, Doc. Thank you for this opportunity. Based on the reflection questions, I'll only answer two because the rest are in place already. The first, name one healthy habit you will begin this week. I think I'll try to intersperse my busy activity with some hours of rest to add to the Sabbath rest.
Mm.
Name one financial habit you will improve. I think I'm still lacking on savings, so that would be my challenge. And perhaps I will try to rather I'll upgrade my financial habit so that I will improve in the savings department. That's I think the three other questions are not an issue with me. I think those two things are the ones that I have to deal with. Thank you, Doc.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for your participation and answering to this reflection question. Yeah, it is really important for us as we have all those activities and reminders that we need not we need to make an action. God is giving us all those opportunities to learn more about those topics and how can we have access to good health through financial capacity, but most of all for our financial capacity. How do we manage the resources that God has given us in order for us to achieve health? And as we all know, if we are not healthy, we cannot praise God. We cannot praise God when we are sick. We cannot praise God when we are physically sick, mentally sick. And we cannot, it's not that we cannot, but it's difficult because our worship and our praise will be altered like by the pain that we are going through, to a point that sometimes people even tend to blame God for their pain. But if we put everything in our capacity to uh, to achieve health, then we will be able to acknowledge the God, the only God who provide for all our needs, and God who want to bless us and want to see us achieve not only financial capacity, but financial capability. And remember, it is not about how much we have. It is not about, we learn that it's not about having a lot, but whatever we have, it's about how we manage it. And the way we manage it, it will be a blessing for us. And not only for us, but it's going to be also a blessing to others. And we will glorify God, who is the provider and the giver of everything that we have. So thank you so much. And again, we see here, good health is not determined by wealth alone. Okay? Good health is not determined by wealth alone. Health and wealth are connected, but neither guaranteed to the others. Financial capacity provide resources, but financial help us make wise decision. Budget, saving regularly, active, or a healthier, more resilient future. Together, with healthy lifestyle choices, they create stronger physical health, better mental well-being, and a higher quality of life. Okay, so we need to do what? Take care of your finance to support your health, and take care of your health to enjoy the benefits of your financial future. Thank you so much, everyone, for attending to this presentation. And I pray and I hope that the Lord in heaven will bless you as you try and as we all try and strive to apply those things we have learned in our lives. Thank you, and God bless everyone.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you for the very
Thank you so
inspiring
much, Doc
presentation.
Geraldine,
Okay?
for the wonderful presentation. And I think anybody else to present? Okay, Doc, we have to move Professor Labon to the other group. Oh, yes. Okay. So I think we'll be ready for this month to present the workshops when we communicate with the respective churches, right? Right now, I only have maybe less than 40 minutes to prepare for the opening of the next trimester. I need some time, so we'll just end today. Unless Dr. Jovin, you have something to present, you can still have the whole morning if you plan to do so.
Not for now, Doc.
Can you say again, Dr. Jovin? It's choppy here.
He said not for now.
Okay, yes,
I've got
okay.
none for now, Doc.
Well,
Sorry.
okay, so it's enough for today for the doctoral class. We'll just give some announcement later on. See you sometime later. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Thank
Just some
you.
reminder. We need to communicate with Doc Ray how we are gonna accomplish this one because the aim is just for us to finish the DCMin as soon as possible, so that we can even write more projects and move on to our professional, I should say, professionalization of all the professors, so we can do more for
Dr.
God's
Foley,
work.
can you stop the recording?
Oh, yes. Okay.